Hi, welcome to Chris Jenkins Golf Academy here at Cronin's Golf Centre in Essex. Today we're going to talk about pace putting, and by that I mean getting the ball as close to the hole as you possibly can from whatever distance you are on the green. On the tour, if you're 8 foot away from the hole, you've only got 50% chance of holding the putt. So there's half the time those players are going to miss the hole from 8 foot. If you're an amateur, that's going to be a lot more. If you're 9 foot or more, then the chances of holding the putt are a lot less than missing. Okay, so there's a lot more chance of missing the hole. And we've got to make sure our expectations match that as well, because if we're expecting to hold a putt from 9 or 10 feet, we're going to be upset and disappointed a lot of the time. So accepting that you're going to miss the hole from putts more than 8 foot is really, really important. But obviously the closer we can get the ball to the hole with our first putt, then the higher chance we've got of holding the putt, because from 3 foot we know we've got around 96% chance of holding the putt, and this actually a tour player would do. That would gradually go down to, if we go to 6 foot, there's around 67% chance, but as I say, from 8 foot there's 50%, and over 8 foot there's more chance of missing. So let's look at how we can get the ball as close to the hole as possible. And most people struggle with this because of the tempo of their stroke, and by that I mean the time that it takes for the putter to move back and through, and the speed that it does it. So if you think of gravity, and gravity has a tempo, right, a speed that it makes things move. If I was to hold my putter like this, and I was just to move the putter back, let's say about 6 inches, and then let it drop, it moves at this pace. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, if I moved it further back, right, so much further back, it moves at the same tempo. 1, 2, 1, 2. So the tempo has to be the same. What happens is, the further you take it back, the quicker you have to take the putter back to keep the tempo the same. So short putt, it will be 1, 2. So the putter would move fairly slowly. So it will be 1, 2, 1, 2. And the further back, the speed has to increase. So 1, 2, to keep the tempo the same. We can use a metronome for this, and that's quite a good thing to do. You can get an app on your phone, and you can put your earpiece in, you can listen to the beat, 1, 2. Or we can just beat it in our head and just think of those words in our head. But we've got to try and get that tempo right. And just to start off by doing that, will give you a really good sense of what that speed actually looks like and feels like. People struggle when they take the putter back different distances but keep the speed the same. All right, so they try and hit the ball different speeds. And so they struggle when they take the putter back slowly, too slow for how far they need to hit it, and there's no energy being built into the putter head. There's no momentum in the putter head. So it's very difficult to get the ball to go any distance at all. And what those players then do is that they try really hard to try and hit the ball different distances. It's very, very difficult, as I say, to control distance. So we've got to really improve the tempo that we hit the stroke at. So what I've done here is I've set up a little challenge to help me with this, with pace putting. So we've got to think of the tempo, but I've also set up some 8 stations, range from 9 foot, because 9 foot, remember, there's more chance of missing than holding out. So I would call that a pace putt. 9 foot is a pace putt. Got to get it close to the hole. Then we've gone up in one step intervals, and that's about 3 foot. So we've got 9, 12, 15, and so on, right up here at 30 feet. And the idea is we're going to hit a putt from each of those distances, and we're going to try and get the ball as close to the hole as possible. And we've got a scoring system. So the scoring system is, if we get the ball to stop within a foot of the front of the hole, we get 1 point. If we get the ball to stop within 2 feet past the hole, we get 2 points. And if we hold the putt, we get 3 points. And we've got ball markers to represent this. And so you want to try and get the ball markers around the hole. And so when you hit your putt, you know whether you're in or out. And we've got to be really strict with whether you're in or out, because as we go up the ladder of these different length putts, then we're going to count our score. And the more points we get, then the better we know our putting's getting. So initially you might start off by getting 1 or 2 points, or 3 points, and then next time I'll do it again, and then you increase that, maybe 5 or 6 or 7, and you do it again, you might get 8, 9, 10, and all of a sudden you may be getting up to sort of 13, 14, 15, 16 points possibly on this challenge. If you're consistently getting that, and you can set this up on lots of different greens, if you're consistently getting this around this 15, 16 points, then you know your pace putting is really good, and that will give you a lot of confidence. But the key is trying to think of the tempo. All right, so it's tempo is combined with a mixture of how far you take the putter back and the speed at which you do it at. And we've got to keep that beat. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's what we're thinking. So let's have a look at this challenge. I've got to try and get the ball within that 2 foot bracket if I can, which is just 2 foot past the front of the hole to the back. If I'm just short, that's okay, so I'll get a point for that. If I get it in, it's 3 points. If I get the pace right, it's got more chance of going in the hole. That's what that 2 foot distance is behind the hole. That's what it's for. It's good pace. If it's a good line, it will drop. That's not my whole intention, because my whole intention is to get the pace right. But obviously, good pace and good line, the two mix and the ball goes in the hole. So let's have a little go of this first one. So this is a 9 foot putt. So my tempo is really important. Remember the 1, 2 action. So I'm going to just feel this 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. So if I move over the putt, look at the hole, I think of the tempo, 1, 2. Okay. So that's a little bit short, that one. So I'd get a point. Okay. That's okay. I've got 1 point. So I'll move up to the next. Okay. So I'll think of the tempo for this one. And now a little bit further, so I've got to take it back a little bit further, but the speed has to increase to make sure the ball gets to the hole, because that increases the energy which is in the putter head. Okay, increases momentum. So we go 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so 1, 2 is our tempo. 1, 2. Great. So I've holed that one. That's 3 points. I've got 4. I can then move to the next. Okay, so it's a bit of a longer putt again, and now I've got to take the putt a little bit further back, so I've got to increase the speed to keep the tempo the same. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so this is my 12 foot putt. 1, 2. Okay, oh, in the zone behind the hole, that's 2 points. Okay. So if we can fast forward to this last putt, which is our 30 foot putt, I've now got to try and get the ball as close to the hole as possible. As you can see, I've got 3 putts which are already pretty close. I've got one in the first zone, one in the second, and I've holed one of them. So for this one to get to the hole, I've really got to take it back quite a long way, but again, increase the speed. So this means I've got to keep that tempo the same. 1, 2, 1, 2. Have 3 of these. Just to try and feel it. Remember, it's not slow and then try and hit the ball hard. That's not what we're looking for. Tempo is the important thing. I've got to increase the speed, increase the length back to keep the tempo the same. As you can see, oh, just dropped in the hole. Okay, happy with that. So that's going to be 3 points from that back zone. Most important thing is I get the ball close to the hole. I'm not going to 3-putt, which is going to really help my scores. If you enjoyed this tip, don't forget to subscribe, tap the bell, go onto my website, chrisjenkins.com, for more options on coaching. Enjoy your golf.